So we're just walking out of where I live. It's a beautiful morning, but the rain's coming, so we got to get out now. There's the mountain, but we'll go the more rural way. I've walked many times like down that road, and it hits a major highway that goes right into town, and it's kind of industrial looking, and I've done it a lot, so we'll go this way. I've done this way before as well, but less often, and it's more scenic. And what's up, guys? This is Tom Trips Out. It's a live stream on my phone, this one. But this isn't all I do. On my channel, I've been doing it for 4 years, hundreds of videos that I make with a real camera and information, and there's music and it's edited, and you can go check out my playlists and find my real videos. And once or twice a week, I go live like this on my phone. We go for a walk and chat. We just have to get past all these puddles. Rained last night. Hopefully this dog is nice. They look all right. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I can get past all that mud. Let's just forget it. We'll go the normal way. I'm sure once I get past, even if I got through that mud, there'll be more mud. Might as well stay on the real road. It's just because it rained really bad last night, overnight. So I forgot about that. You know, other times it'll be all dried up and hard. Most of the other time, just if it just rained, it'll be full of puddles. This is still pretty scenic compared to where I'm from, in the suburbs of Toronto in Canada. Yeah, and then if you have things you need to ask about living here or about me or becoming a teacher, and there's links below to the TEFL course I took. It's government accredited. They help you get a job when you come out. And what else? It takes 4 weeks. Robert Pierpoint says, you're tripping me out, man. We're heading into town, and I need to get something in my camera before the rain comes. You can see it creeping behind the mountain. It's not fully out yet, but that's all coming out towards us. And I think you can never tell. The weather app will tell you, oh, you can see like on a graph when the rain's gonna come. And then it'll come 2 hours earlier or an hour later than that. Like it's never like fully accurate. But I think today it was saying like 11:30 a.m., like somewhere just before noon. And right now it's like 8 a.m. So we might have 3 or 4 hours where I can get something done and get back home again. See, he had went by too fast for you to see probably, but I don't know, are these banana plants or are they something else? But that guy that drove by, he had river snails in his cart there. That's what he had. So next Friday, look at this, the whole road's open. Oh, he's turning. That happens sometimes. They want to drive like right where you're standing, even though the whole rest of the road is open. So next Friday's Halloween. I'm going back to Phnom Penh, and my band has a big Halloween gig, and then the very next day, because I planned it for when I was already in the city, the next day I have a solo gig, which I never do, like solo singer-songwriter. And the rare times I do it, it's usually an open mic, and I'll play like 3-4 songs. Or I've done like songwriter nights where you maybe do 4 songs, and then other people take turns, and then it comes back to you and you do another 3 or 4 songs, like something like that. But this gig I'm talking about is like 2 full sets. It's like play 11 songs, take a break, and play another 11 songs. Like it's like 22 songs or whatever, like till about that many until the time runs out. Like, this gig is going to be playing a guitar and singing and songs I wrote. So it's a different, feels different mentally, like going into it. And the reason I don't ever do it is because I don't never play covers. And that's what people want, you know, play something we know. I only play originals, so I have like tons of originals. So I put like 25 of them in a list, but I started thinking I need covers. So I found like 6 covers I can play. I'm gonna sprinkle them in, you know, like 3. It'll be like 3 originals and then a cover, and then like 3 originals and then a cover, like something like that. So in each set there'll be like 3 covers. They're really easy. I can't do, I'm not an amazing guitar player. Like I just can do the chords, like campfire chords, and I have really strong strumming, and I can be dynamic and get quiet, and I'm good like that, but I don't know a million chords or different voicings. They're like ones that sound all pretty and weird, and like I don't know any of that. I just know the straightforward stuff. So they have to be easy songs, and there's tons of songs like that. So it's, but what I mean is I can't just go pick my favorite song. And sometimes they're not songs I love, but they're just songs I'm able to do. Like, but I'll try to. What did I choose? I chose "Torn" by Natalie Imbruglia. 2 Oasis songs, "Live Forever" and "Don't Look Back in Anger." What else? Counting Stars by One Republic. Whatever, there's a bunch. Hey There, Delilah. So it's like 8 a.m. We're heading into town, and so I was thinking about making a video about just like walk around and talk about different stuff, and maybe catch some of it while I buy breakfast now. When I get in there. Like a cost of living video, but that's always tough to do because everyone's lifestyles are different, right? Like you might, just the things you spend on everyone spends their money differently, right? So I can't tell you what your cost of living will be. So, and that's why I'm always reluctant to make a video like that. But now I've lived in Phnom Penh, and I've lived in Kampot, so I can say the title can be my cost of living, Kampot versus Phnom Penh. So I can tell you, like, you know, compare my budget and what I have to spend to live here compared to what I was doing in Phnom Penh. And you know, and then you just have to adapt that to your lifestyle. Be like, well, I'm the same, but I also have this, so that's like an extra 30 a month that I would be spending. So okay, this and that. Like, Diego says, hey buddy, I'm moving to Kampot next year, coming from Toronto. That's where I'm from. Canada is cooked. Time to leave. I'm in Toronto too. Toronto. If you're really from Toronto, we don't say the T at the end. We just say like Toronto. and then you dog coming after me. Then you only hear it in the airport. Toronto. Gate 7 to Toronto. And we're all like, Toronto. Okay, well, stay tuned. I'm going to make a cost of living video today. It's basically just going to show that it's like, you know, between $200 and $300 cheaper to live here. Just my apartment is $220 cheaper. So just by existing here, I'm saving $220 a month compared to Phnom Penh. So my rent is only $130. So that $220 I'm saving, if you just add $40 to it, that pays for another 2 months rent here. So it'll be interesting for people to see that there's such a significant difference between the city and Kampot. And you know, it'll be, I always just wing it. I didn't really script it or storyboard it out, but you would talk about different topics. Okay, like your rent, an apartment, that's one category. And then there's, you know, your cell phone and internet. And then there's food. And for the food one, I could film it while I'm eating actual food here. So that's what I'm thinking. I won't show you my noodles in this live stream because I'll start the video with, you know, everyone's got to eat. So let me show you how much a typical thing costs. And I think it's about, the noodles I get are $1.75. It's really good. Oh no, wait, sorry. $2.25. Yeah, that's still cheap. Food, and then I walk around different spots in Kampot and put the camera or and talk or do it while I'm walking and just say, you know, spend money on this, spend money on that. This is what it costs in the city, this is what it costs over here. So this is like a little electric bike, it's silent. So there's all kinds of these little EV scooters, but that would be great for me most of the time, but it's because you just kind of fart your way into town, but I just feel like it's impractical because you can't ever use it for anything long trip at all. Like, or you risk being stranded, right? Because it's not like someone can just bring you a gas tank and a jerry can of gas. If I took it to Bokor Mountain and it's like, no, and then you're like, oh, does anyone have a power socket on the mountain? Oh God, you don't want to scare a dog, street dog. Oh my God, control your dogs. Oh. So trashy. I keep turning to them because if you face them, they stop in their tracks. It's like when you're not looking, they'll run up behind you. And then when I turn and look, they freeze more and they don't come any more closer. So I have to keep walking backwards and looking at them. but also looking at them makes them bark. Like if I turn my back, they stop barking, but they'll come right up to my back of my legs. Like, and maybe bite me or just smell me, or I don't know. They'll come right in biting distance, so I'd rather face them. Plus I can see, I can like kick them or move my leg or something. One time at night I was walking and dogs were coming out and nothing happened. They ended up, like I was just anticipating, are they going to be bad dogs? And then when I walked by, they didn't do anything. But I felt like it was going to happen, and so I have this fanny pack. So I took it off and I'm holding it in my hand, and the strap, like I could, it has a buckle on the end of it. It's like, yeah, come, I'll whip you in the face with this thing. But they were just, they were peaceful, so it didn't happen. A lot of people walk with a, if you know there's going to be a lot of dogs, you like just carry a stick with you, and not like you would ever actually like hit them, but just so you have something between your hand and its mouth, like, or you could wave it in the air and scare them away. Like, Robert, how much money do you or can you save per month after all your living costs teaching there? Well, again, I know I'll give you a ballpark in a second, but again, that can depend on so many things. Like what apartment have you chosen? Because that's a big chunk right away. And what's your salary? You know, because you could choose an apartment that's like 150 or 200 cheaper and live in a really small or maybe a little bit farther away area and save 150, and your salary could be 150 or 200 higher too. So then, like, there's some cases where you could save 300 more in one scenario than you could in another scenario. So it's tough to fully say, but. And are you a native speaker or not? Are you from like America, Canada, or UK? South Africa does not count as English speaking. Even though I know they do speak English, it's not me saying that. They don't, they'll treat you like a non-native English speaker. Which means you might get paid a little bit less. It's a factor they can use if they want to offer you less. But if that's not even on their mind, and you had a really good interview and they're giving that offer to every teacher, like you might just get the same offer as a native speaker. But usually if they can save money anyway, they'll offer you like 100 less. Oh, me. Okay, yeah. Well, like in the last year, I've stopped teaching, but I was a teacher for 2.5 years, or about 2 years. And I got hired at making $12.50 a month, and then after a few months, I got a raise to like $13.10. And I've had different apartments, like in Phnom Penh. I had one that was 140, 300, 350, and 250. So all those time periods were different of how much I could save because of the amount you're paying in rent and all that. But 250 is pretty average for an apartment, so you should go with that maybe. And then with all your bills and everything, it'll be 300. You know, all the utilities. So if I was making 1,200, you know, you could save like, it's usually about 200 or 300 US a month you can save disposable. But I don't go out and buy the lady girls at the bars, and you know, I don't waste money drinking and except a few beers. Beers cost like 75 cents here. There's some bars that will just give unlimited free draft for an hour between like 6 and 7. You just walk up and it's just free for an hour, as many as you want, free. And they're just trying to get people to come to the bar. So if you stick to beer, you don't have to break the bank like to drink beers. Yeah. Love the Sleep is asking, does YouTube and music gigging pay your bills right now? Yeah, it has for about, I forget exactly the date, but it's been a long time now. I've been here for 4 years. Yeah, so it's been like probably almost 2 years, like a year and, I don't know exactly, but like a year and 8 months, let's say, of freelance. I've been totally free. But there was one time, so yes, the answer is yes, I do, and it's been like that the last year and a half or so. But there's been a few times where I start to run out of money because it's not guaranteed. Every month I find out if I'm making any money, like at the end of every month, and did I have any referrals for the AVSE program, and how many gigs and all that stuff. Like these last 2 months were very bad. Like, yeah. I'd say the last 2 months, if you put them together, I've made like $600 or something for 8 weeks. But there's other times, I know it's nobody's business, but you're kind of interested because it's weird, but it can flip the other way. I think in July I made like 2,200 just in 1 month. And so to live in Kampot, I spend about only 600 a month to live here. So if I have 1 month where I made 22, that's almost like I don't have to make anything for the next 4 months if I just am careful with my money and everything. So that's how it goes. It's like I'm feast or famine. I have like one really good month, and then I have to be so careful because I never know if I'm ever going to make money again. And then 2 or 3 months later, then finally another good month, and like next month, November, is supposed to be really good. So it's like the patterns keeps happening. It ties me over for a while. But a year ago, it was bad, months in a row of bad and no good ones. And then I had to get a job. So that's when I started doing tutoring in person and online. And it was about exactly a year ago. It was like over Christmas. And then by about February or March, my students started to dry up. Like they were finished what they were doing, and then they weren't finding me any new students. But then my online stuff picked up again, and I've been fine since then. Like the last 8 or 9 months has been really consistent, based kind of. And then, so I'm on the edge of my seat all the time, basically. And what I do is I try to keep a cushion so I'm able to handle a few dead months, you know. If you're living only paycheck to paycheck, you can't do what I'm doing. So I try to keep it as high as possible, but it shrinks fast, you know, if you're not making anything. But ideally, I would love to have like above $5,000 US in my bank account, like at all times, and never go below that, you know. But I think a year ago, I got down to as low as when I got that job. I went down to as low as like only like 1,500 left in my bank account. And then I got a job, and then I got some Christmas money, and then it all started going back the other way again. But so when my cushion starts to disappear and I only have like 2,000 left, then I get a job, basically. And if the job's going well, like that job I had last year, I would have kept it. It was going well. I had like 1 or 2 students online. It was really, she was nice and everything. And it's just, they ran out of students for me. They were always temporary. Like they're getting ready for an exam or an interview. And then their interview comes and everything, and then they're finished with the teacher. They don't need it. They're not doing it anymore. So like I would have kept that job, it dried up, and then I just never found another one. But you know, obviously I prefer not to put my time into that. I'd rather do my own thing. Adrian, can you pretty much stay indefinitely on a visa? No, well, every year you have to renew it. And then it gets, this is happening to me very soon, it gets annoying when your passport is about to expire. Because for the visa conditions, you need the amount of time of a visa, right? I'm getting a year visa, so you would need like a year left on your expiry date of your visa, obviously. But they ask you that you need 6 months more than that. So really, to get a year visa, you need 18 months validity left in your passport. And I have to renew mine very soon, and mine expires like a year from December. But that's, you know what I mean? If I'm doing it in February, that's only 10 months away, not 18 months away. And then the visa office will reject me. I can't get a new visa if there's not more than 18 months left in the visa. So when you're like getting within a year and a half from your passport expiring, you'll have to go through all this hassle of like getting another passport. And actually, the very last time I went, I was just off by 10 days for that rule, so they could only offer me a 6-month one. And that's gonna end in February. But I know I'm rambling on, but what else are we talking about? This year, I'm going home for Christmas, coincidentally. So we're gonna book it so like the second day I'm there, because I'm there for like 2.5 weeks, I'm gonna get a new passport while I'm in Canada and just rush. You can pay extra and just rush it. You know what I found out? If you do it here at the embassy, it costs $100 more just because you're doing it abroad. And if I'm home in Toronto and I do a rush, the rush costs $100 more. So it's the same price for me no matter which way I do it anyway. So I'm gonna go back to Toronto, pay to have it done like in only 2 days or something. And then you go back 2 days later and get it. And then when I come back from Toronto, easy. I just renew for a year. I'll have a new passport. But I'm kind of explaining to them, imagine I'm like, I need a rush on this. And they're like, your expiry date isn't for 10 more months of your passport. Then I'll have to be like, I know, but the visa and da-da-da. But I'm sure they deal with that all the time with everyone who's living abroad. They know that. Hey, go subscribe to my channel. I've got like 4 years of making videos and informative videos, and they're organized in playlists too. So if you really like apartment tours or you like hotel reviews or restaurants, it's all split up. There's ones on Siem Reap, Battambang, you know, mostly in Phnom Penh because that's where I was for 3 years. And now I'm in Kampot. There's ones on Vietnam too. I've also got a members section, and there's a link below for that if you want to see what you get. And it's basically extra videos, live streams, what I'm eating, behind the scenes stuff. And it's only $4.99. You also get sneak peeks. When I upload videos early and schedule them, I make it so members can see. It's $4.99, and I also recommend just do 1 month and then quit so you're not on the line. But it's an easy way to help out the channel, and then you get some content out of it. Instead of just a random donation, you get access to like 200 videos you could binge. I got one up there too about Happy Pizza. There's places you can go where they put cannabis on the pizzas, and it's not illegal. Like you can go there, it's fine. And I made one about how they sell balloons in bars with like laughing gas in it. It's only in the members area. And then there's like 200 short live streams of food I'm eating and behind the scenes or cool places I'm at or hotel rooms. And Pedro, hey. Hold on, I'm gonna read all your stuff now. Karim Gamal. Hey, how much for a studio apartment average in Siem Reap? I've never lived there, but it's cheap, man. I would say 150 or 200. And if you go basic, it might even be less. Yeah, you know what? Thinking about it now, I've seen some Siem Reap creators that have done apartment tours where it's like 150 for a studio room. I bet you that's about average. Other people in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, jump in. I'd say 150 is good. You're not getting, if it's nice and everything, you wouldn't be getting ripped off. Gator Lover says, love your channel, man. Wow, and that's a big compliment from someone who loves gators. It's like Will Ferrell used to call me Gator. Backstreet Ball. How will you get your work permit with the new laws not allowing you to get it without having an employer sponsor you? None of that's true. People keep commenting that. It's like people are trying to spam nonsense to deter people from coming here or something. You just go to a visa agent and pay the money, and then a few days later they give it to you. So whatever they're doing, they sort it out. Yeah, maybe if you tried to go to the office yourself, then it would be trouble. But if you just go to any visa agent, and they're doing like 100 people at once, you know what I mean? You see in their office, they have a drawer just full of people's passports and work permits, and we'll see what happens. The obvious answer is I could just get a job, with like one student, and then that's enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be full time. You could even get a job just to get the paperwork, and once you have it, just quit the job, and it's not like they're checking if you still work there. So I'm not worried about that at all. You just go to the place and pay the money, and it gets done. Adrian, I've just subbed within the last week. Oh, subscribed. Adrian's just subscribed within the last week. I've been watching a lot of your videos. Really enjoy them. Thanks, Adrian. I had some trolls leaving hateful comments the last 2 days, so it's nice to balance it out with some support. Appreciate you, Adrian. I know it sounds corny, but it's true. Maybe hateful is strong, but you know, smart ass trolls or whatever. Thanks, Backstreet. They say they love my channel. Yeah, you get losers writing bad stuff, or like one guy lately they were writing, and maybe they'll watch this, I don't know. They're upset that if I make videos here, it might become more popular, and this person doesn't want it to be popular here because this is like his secret getaway or whatever. And so I don't even get it. Like, he's trying to write to me as if he's saying I'm not allowed to make videos like this because it's going to turn this place into a pattaya, or ruin it into a touristy place. And you're like, and it's going to really hurt the locals because that'll drive prices up. But I'm like, no, it's not. All these places are struggling, and they rely on tourism is their only thing they have. Like, all the restaurants, tuk-tuks and guest houses and tours and tour guides and the boat rides, like everything would be full if it was more busy here. And as if I took a break from making videos, then it all stops. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a stupid idiot. Like, everyone has a phone with a camera in it, you know what I mean? There's way bigger creators than me. You know, it's like I'm not really making much impact anyway. So anyways, I wrote back like, and he was kind of writing to me like I'm just passing through and ruining this place and then moving on again. And I was like, I live here for 4 years. I'll make videos about whatever I want to make videos about. And I don't come to your job and tell you not to do your job. Like I need to eat and pay my bills too, so shut your mouth. Like, but you know, even though you know they're just a loser or whatever, but I start my day with that. Like I open my eyes and roll over in bed and roll out of bed to that kind of stuff. And then now I have to be motivated and start my day and go make more videos when I'm getting people saying that it's like a bad thing I'm doing and all that. And he was writing this on ones where I did some local businesses in Kampot, like a yoga studio cafe and a music shop, and I was like, this is just helping like struggling in small businesses during low season. You know, it's not like I'm rolling out the red carpet and inviting people here. And a lot of people who watch my videos, they've already decided they're going to move here. It's not like I've made them discover it. They're just, now that they already know they want to come here, now they're finding me because they're searching for it, you know. It's a bunch of drinking water. There's drinking water in there. This is actually the bus company I always use. Next Friday, I'm taking a bus here. They're really good. Kim sang, I'm gonna make a video all about that. It's $9, but there's this app called Red Bus, like the color red, Red Bus. And for the last like 8 months or more, and it just never goes away, they have $2 off on their app, on that app. So it's only $7 each way to Phnom Penh. It's like 3-hour ride. It's like 2.5-hour drive, but they stop for a half an hour. We got to end it pretty soon. I'm getting close to the noodle restaurant, but I want that to be in the cost of living video when I say how much food costs, you know. I'll probably start the video with that because I'm there now and I'm hungry. Look at this European European architecture. Just what I want to speak. Bang, bang, bang. That looks like it could be a cool restaurant in there, maybe. But I mean, look how empty it is here. And I think that guy had a point. That guy had a point in a way, but he was talking about one extreme, like if it was way overrun with tourists and it gets to the point where you can't even book a room because it's so full everywhere, then the price will start to go up because of such strong demand, and then you can't even move in here because there's so many people here. But that's like a really far extreme, and right now, and that is a problem, I would agree with that. And then there's an opposite extreme where it's so dead that people are losing their businesses, and we're like there now, you know what I mean? We're in a place where we need to bring it up, you know, and don't be scared now that it's going to go too far. Worry about that when we're, you know, let's get okay again before we worry about if it's going too far or not. Like everyone's like struggling to eat here, you know? And then once we're okay and it starts doubling and getting too much, then, you know, bring that up. Hey, this is like turning into a Disneyland or something here. But man, it's like a sad ghost town in some ways right now, just because it's low season. But in about 1 month or two, it's high season is starting very soon. So that'll be interesting to see. If you're watching now, just remember this and wait like 2 months from now when I'm out here again, and you'll just see like, you know, groups of like 15, oh, the lads are out from UK, oh, we're on vacation and stuff, like, and they all travel around and everyone's having a good time and partying. Hang on a second, a bunch of stuff happened. I gotta read all this. I'm an AI automation consultant. Any chance to get a re-etching job? I think you mean a teaching job. To get a teaching job, you just need a TEFL certificate. I have links below if you want to do the same course I took. Next. Bombastic, I like your channel. Thanks for the support. Pedro, since high season is coming for Thailand, I may spend Christmas in Kampot. I've watched a lot of Kampot videos in the last 2 days. It might be quiet here. I'll be in Canada. Ronnie V, I'm so jealous. Winter is coming. Love what you're doing. Thanks. Adrian, I think people just don't know how to be happy with themselves. Project negativity. They are green with envy. No, well, I think the guy, he's not realistic in his head. He doesn't understand. Like, he thinks that I make 1 or 2 videos and it's gonna get millions of people here. It's not how it goes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm probably responsible for getting like 5 people here. You know what I mean? Like something you wouldn't even notice. And as I said, if I stopped, you wouldn't even notice that either. It would keep accelerating. Also, the city itself and the country is pouring money into the city of Kampot, and then like the people who are in charge of Kampot, they use the money on attractions, and like they just built the big seahorse that sprays water. They got a water fountain and light show. They just built the whole beach there. And they're putting tons of money into promoting all that and Kampot tourism. So that's way more significant than anything I'm doing on my channel, you know what I mean? But he picks on someone more easily to, here's just a public place I can comment and be a dick or something like that. And, I'm only helping, really. But yeah, don't talk about the tens of thousands of dollars going into tourism and attractions and bringing more people here. Get the local unsponsored YouTuber that's scraping by and shit all over him. Sorry, I'm ranting on. That's how I started my day. That's my motivation to make videos today, was that guy. Okay. Paul Clancy. Thanks so much, Paul. Paul donated 10. I don't know if you can see that in the chat. Thanks. I don't know if you realize that's very generous. Thank you so much. That's like I don't know if you heard me say that. These noodles cost like $2.25, so I could buy like 3 other people breakfast. Thanks a lot. Maybe I'll when I do the cost of living video, and then after I eat, then maybe I'll make some other video with something that costs a bit of money, and I could use that money to do it, like, or pay a tuk-tuk to take me out to a farm or something, because now you helped put some money in the hat, Thanks a lot, Paul. Next, Adrian. Thank you. Adrian just joined the Tom Trips Out membership page. So there's a link below for that. It's $4.99, and I just basically put extra videos all the time. It's like sometimes what I'm eating, or behind the scenes, or like if I'm in Phnom Penh and I'm making a video about the hotel, I'll just stop and go live only for members. So they're seeing it first. Then maybe a week later that video comes out to the public about the whole hotel, but they were able to see it like the moment I stepped into it. And, and I'll talk about what was happening that day, and you get to see like more into my life. And also I post videos early and schedule it, and so the members can see them when they're still waiting to be public. You can see them ahead of time. And there's one there on cannabis pizza and laughing gas balloons. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. There's probably 200 there. So I recommend sign up for 1 month and then just quit, like if you don't want to stay on, or stay on if you like it. Just binge it all and quit, and it's a good way to help support me, and you get something back out of it instead of just giving me money for nothing. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling on. Thanks again, Adrian. Okay. Good morning, Verse. Hey Tom, I'm back in Australia. This is Os Killer B. Melbourne weather right now is cold and raining, missing the warm sunny weather of Cambodia. Talkative Cartoon says, when you were still hanging out with groups of teachers, what did they think of your channel? Yeah, they thought it was cool. Well, there's a little bit of, like, anything negative would be like when I was really small, is kind of like, there's a sarcastic tone, like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? No, that's so cute. Or like as if I think I'm gonna be able to do a YouTube channel. I'm just like, okay, just wait. When I did the AVSE course, I had like maybe 150 subscribers. You know what I mean? I had just started when I got here. And then your close friends are like, see, it's wherever I want to stand, then someone wants to drive there. You know, and then your close friends are like, hey, well, when you're famous, you better not forget about us and stuff. You know, you get people say stuff like that. And isn't that crazy? This is a long, deserted, empty road, and he needs to go right where I'm standing. A lot of people they're asking me about what did people think about my channel. A lot of people comment on my little jingle. I have a theme song that I made. That's me singing, and I wrote that song, and I'm a musician. I did like home recording just in my bedroom or whatever, and I programmed like fake drums, and then I played bass and acoustic guitar, and I sang a few layers. There's harmonies in it too. Hey, everybody come along with me, you know, at the start of every video. So I get people like love that little jingle. Next, what's the best month to come as far as being hiring times? Well, they hire all the time. It doesn't matter. Like, I came in February. I did the course in February. It was like the last few days of February, so it was basically most of March was the course. And by like the first week of April, I was working. And if you think about it, that's just the last 3 months of the school year, April, May, June. So that's when I got hired. So you could get hired anytime, but I'd say the absolute best, but it's not by that significant, because again, they're hiring like all the time, so it doesn't matter. But maybe a slight bit more would be in mid-August or so, because they're trying to get ready for the new year in September. And anyone who didn't stay with their job from the last year, because sometimes teachers come here to the country in general just for the idea of, I'm going to go and teach for 1 year, you know, and then they leave. So sometimes when people are done their contract, they leave. And then during summer school, they might not need all the teachers, so they say, okay, go, your contract's over, you can leave, and we have enough people left for summer school. August rolls around and they start thinking, oh shit, we're short 2 people for the following school year, right? And then so maybe mid-August or something, but they're always hiring. It really doesn't matter. And another time when they're not hiring is like Khmer New Year. That's a major holiday here. So if you start trying to go around canvassing your resume around on Khmer New Year, like everything will be closed. It's like back home if you tried to go around between Christmas time or something, you know, everything shuts for like 10 days. So if you were looking right at that time, you're like, no one's getting back to me. Oh God, I'm walking right into the construction. Tom Long, if you can hear me, you add me on Instagram and ask me that privately. I don't talk about that in a public video. The official thing is it's illegal here. A cannabis pizza would be like, you know, like $4 for the pizza. Then you might have to pay like $3 or $4 more to put happy on top of it at a Happy Pizza restaurant. If you want to know more, you can add Tom Trips Out on Instagram and DM me. Jeff Kravitz, hey. Pedro, I really got a lot out of the video. How to use the food apps. Yeah, I have a video about all the different food apps here. and included is a couple of referral codes to download the food app. And it's my referral code, but you get rewarded too if you use that instead of just going to the app store and getting it. If you use my link, we both get vouchers in there. So I think you get them immediately, and then I'll get them if you make an order, you know. Yeah, and I explain how you save so much money by ordering all your food. It's cheaper than going into the restaurant, and it's cheaper than buying groceries. Well, unless you eat like spaghetti every day or rice, plain rice every day. But if you're trying to make good food, it's cheaper to eat out. Or unless, if you were cooking for 4 people every time, you could probably save money that way because you all split it. But when you're one guy by yourself, then it's easier to eat out. If you're smart about it like I am. I stay underneath $10 for my whole day, 3 meals. And I don't have to cook or clean or buy groceries or have any waste or... And sometimes, if you're lucky, you don't even eat it all. Like I can save leftovers from that. So we passed my breakfast spot, but there's just a lot of people in here, so I wanted to maybe keep it going another 5 or 10 minutes, but see what you guys are writing here. Verse, your music on the videos is the best, 100%. Almost feels like some Chinese meditation jingle. Yeah, I make all that music myself as well. Oh, I hate these loud motors. I can't talk. I can't think while I'm talking. That's why I left the city. Yeah, now I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh yeah, the background music I put in, because you can't use licensed music, so I make my own. I have this sound, like music recording software called Logic. And that's how I used to record all my songs and my jingles and stuff. And it has a bank of like thousands of samples, which is, you know, like a 5-second little bit of music of something, and it's of whatever instrument or banjo, and just like that. And I mean thousands of, and it could be a drum beat, it could be pianos, it could be like anything, synthesizer, weird sound effects or like noises, and also drum beats. And you can take it, and to copy and paste, you just grab the corner and drag it along. It's just again, it's copy and pasting it. So you can just put these, I just layer all these samples and make it. But there's a whole area in the sample bank that's Chinese flutes and weird string instruments and Asian things. And I go through and I put those in with beats and like bass lines, and then that's what you're hearing. So it's like random Chinese samples I've layered with rock beats and funk bass lines and stuff. That's basically what it is. And I made it. Adrian, I love listening to the bass. When I listen to music, that's what I usually hear first. Yeah, me too. Well, but I played bass for like almost 28 years, 27 years, since I was 12. I'm almost 40 now. Oh yeah, what do you, when school is out? Do you have to live off savings, or do they still pay you? JX is asking, oh, you mean in the summertime? Where I worked, you just keep working as normal. You're not off. There's summer school. So you, but that's the way it worked at my school. You had the choice. You were allowed to take the summer off, not paid. So you could have 2 months unpaid off, and your job is guaranteed back in September if you want to. Or you just keep working as normal. Your salary just keeps going and you come to work every day like normal, but it's summer school, so it's a little different. The kids are mostly just there in the morning, the students. And as an English teacher, what you do is summer school, or what at my school, this might not be the same at every school. You know, every school is totally independent and different. Nothing is standardized at all between schools. Material, curriculums, books, nothing is the same. So at my school, it was like this. It's basically through the whole summer, like 7 weeks, you're working your way through a book. And we did holes, you know, and there was a movie with that. I think the guy was Shia LaBeouf was in that. It's like a bunch of kids, and it's almost like they're sent to a prison camp, and they have to dig holes in the ground all day long. That's what this book is about. And so we slowly work our way through the book, and I get, you know, you choose different students to read a paragraph, and then the next student, and the next student, and I have it up on an overhead too, all the words. And then once we're like a third of the way through the book, then we watch that much of the movie as a class, and then you continue reading the book, and you keep doing that through the whole summer. So that's really easy, right? You're not doing lesson plans or like teaching them stuff. You're just making them read. Oh yeah, and then every once in a while there's a quiz like on what they're reading and stuff. And that always takes place in the morning. You might have 2 or 3 classes like that in the morning, and then what they did in the afternoon is all the teachers had to do they called it like special classes. So they asked us ahead of time, is there any hobby or skill that you have that you could teach in summer school? Like one girl was doing dancing, or you could do a book club or board game club, like something they can drop in and do together and learn, or like arts and crafts, or I can't remember everything else. I think someone did basketball, and someone was doing self-defense, like, so it's like cool skills. And I did a ukulele class. And the budget was $20 per kid is what, if you need any materials and stuff. And so I sourced around all these music stores, sending emails all around, and I found a music store that would, and I said it was for a school and everything and for students. Sorry, I'll get away from the drone. And they said, and I said, I want to buy like 15 ukuleles for the school. I mean, like the school will pay for it, but I had to go find it all and everything. And they said because it was for a school and all that, they would do $17 each ukulele. And so I told the principal, and they said, go for it, because each student had to pay 20 anyway. And so we got all these ukuleles, and then I taught ukulele, and I have videos of that. I think there's probably shorts if you go way back. That's like 2 or 3 years ago. Or on my Instagram, you could scroll back really far, and you'll see ukulele class. And by the end, they're like playing Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and Miley Cyrus songs and stuff. Okay, let's move on to someone else. Did you ever get sick from ice? Jeff is asking. I was thinking about doing a video about that too, because there's an ice. I saw an ice factory in town here in Kampot. And if you're wondering what I mean, it's because the tap water here is unsafe. So you cannot just have any ice, you know? And all the restaurants and everywhere, coffee shops, cafes, and you get an iced coffee or in your drinks or whatever, it all comes from places that make ice. Like all these places have suppliers that they show up maybe even throughout the day, because they'll use it all or it'll melt, and so they get it first thing in the morning, and then again in the middle of the day another ice delivery. And it's made with clean water so that they can put it in all the food and drinks and all that. And the way you can tell is the clean ice that's good to eat and everything is like perfect little cylinder tubes, you know, pre-formed. You can tell it's totally smooth little cylinders of ice. And they often have a little bubble inside, like as if it's hollow in the middle a little bit. And that's how you know it came from an ice factory or something. If it's just like shards of ice that were from a random block that the guy hit with a chisel or something, and you have no idea is that from tap water or what. And what's risky is that bad ice is also sold for things like putting underneath trays at the fish market, like for situations when you're not going to eat it, like just for displays or for keeping things cold underneath a shelf. Like you lay all the ice down and then you put your stuff on top of it. Like that's what just, you know, tap water ice is just for stuff you're not going to eat, and then the concern is they're going to mix it up, you know, so you want to make sure you have pre-formed, perfectly robotic looking pieces of ice, then you know it came from the factory. And I was thinking of doing a video there, and in the title call it an ice facility, because you know in the States now all the stuff with the ice, with the immigration police and everything, and I could be like ice facility in Kampot, and it would get all this it would trigger keywords and go viral maybe, and then they watch it and it's literally a facility where they make ice, like frozen water. That'd be funny. Pedro, thank you. Pedro I know that was a little while ago. I'm just getting through everyone slowly. Thank you, Pedro. Let me put a heart on there. Pedro, you donate so much, man. I really appreciate that. You do. I think you broke the record now. Tell the troll he motivated me to send $10 now. Nice. I appreciate you guys. It brightened up my day. I'm glad. I almost didn't go live. I almost just came straight into town to do the videos. And I just went live like 2 days ago. So I thought, well, why not? And I thought, just do it anyways. I should start doing it more anyway, right? Like anytime I'm out and my phone has battery, I should just turn it on anyway. Why not? If it goes bad, I can just delete it or something. If it was really horrible or something. Like this one turned out good. We got 22 people here right now. Hey, little buddy. JX, so if you aren't currently teaching, what visa are you on? I'm on a working visa. I'm on a 6-month EB visa. If you just go to a visa agent and you give them you need like a passport size photo, you need like your passport, give it to them, and oh yeah, and you need your work permit, and you hand that all in, and then if you don't have the documents, it costs maybe $40 more because you're missing the documents, and then they just do it. And this isn't like some secret one only I know about. This one place does that. It's like any place, anywhere. Or if they say they don't do that, like that's the anomaly. I've never heard of a place that can't do it. But what you should be careful of, you know, I said, oh, if you don't have the documents, they'll charge an extra 30 or 40. That amount can be different if you're a sucker. What if they say to you, no problem, we can do it, it just costs another 120. And you go, oh great, you can do it, and you pay that. They're laughing at you behind your back because it really should only be 35 or 40 more. So you got to pay a bit more, but you should try to just control how much you're throwing out for that fee, like for missing the documents. Yeah, Jeff says the streets look pretty clean. There's no trash. It's not bad. Like the stuff you see now, we had a really bad rainstorm, and that can whip up, like it gets flooded a little bit, and then that's probably like, this stuff probably floated in here. Like this paper and stuff. You can tell it looks waterlogged, but totally dried up now. So you can tell it probably got, these streets flood, right? I never come out because when it rains, I stay put where I am under shelter, right? So I've never been walking around right here when it's raining bad, but I've seen videos and you can read online, it gets like this deep, like probably, 3 or 4 inches deep, turns into like ankle deep or just above your ankles, like everywhere, for maybe just 2 hours. Like it just takes time to drain away. The rain comes like too much all at once. Just imagine like a 3-hour rainstorm and it all comes in only 15 minutes. Like just sheets and buckets, like crazy. And then it just stops. And now the roads have like 3 inches of water and it's going away, but it takes like 2 hours or something. Hold on, there's action happening in the chat here. So if I want to teach online and move to Cambodia, can I still get a work visa? Yeah, yes you can. But so what you do when you enter the country, you have to get an E-type visa. It's called like a capital E, E-type, and then in brackets, ordinary visa. All of that, E-type, ordinary visa. And don't get confused, because the one you do not want is the tourist visa. And they also call that E-visa for electronic, you know, with a little lowercase e. So little lowercase e visa, electronic visa, you do not get that, because if you come in with that, you cannot extend that. You cannot make that longer. So you cannot turn that into long-term one. The tourist one cannot be, you'd have to leave again and come back in. The one you want is capital E type, ordinary visa, which is good for 30 days, but it's like waiting for you to go to a visa office and pay to have an extension. And then it becomes an E something. If you're retiring, it's like ER for retiring. The work one is a B for business. So come in on an E type, then you go to a visa office and say you want to get a 1-year extension, and they'll say, okay, you know, you need, or you contact them ahead of time, we need your passport photo, we need, you know, and you could tell them I need a work permit too, and you'll need that too if it's your first time. And they'll give you a price for like everything all at once, and it'll be like the regular price, and then you're paying maybe 30 or 40 extra for not having all the documents that you're supposed to have. That's how it goes. And then if you're somewhere and they say, no, that's an extra 150 because you don't have the documents, walk away. Like, they're not the only place in town. Or contact me and I'll tell you where I go. Hang on. Verse. Holy cow, everyone's donating to me. Thank you so much. You really turned my whole day around. Verse just sent $5. Thank you so much. Jesus. I think this month is the most I've ever gotten from like YouTube. It's not a crazy amount, but sometimes it's barely enough to hit 100 to send to me, so you know what I mean? But now it's pretty, this is the highest month I ever had, I think. We'll see at the end of the month. But. Brub, is the tropical humidity difficult to adapt to? Yeah, well that's based on like person by person. But yeah, I don't know. That's tough to say. Like I'm totally soaked right here, right now. I don't know if you can see that. Humidities. It's not like it goes away. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, now I'm accustomed to it, so I don't sweat anymore. It's not like that. You totally melt completely every time you're out. And it's not like other places. Sometimes people say, well, I come from Arizona, or I come from places with heat. I know heat. But this isn't as developed of a place. So like in those places where you're from, there's a lot of times in your day where you're passing through air conditioning or lots of shade, or in a car that's air conditioned, or in a bus that's air conditioned, or in your office that's air conditioned, restaurants air conditioned. Shopping mall, like grocery shopping air conditioned, or shopping for clothes or something. And here you'll never have air conditioning, and it's like a different kind of heat. It's like really heavy, wet humidity, you know, like how you just said, tropical humidity. And you might be in a packed space and you have a little bit of culture shock already, and you're very uncomfortable. There's so many people around you, and then on top of that, you're dripping down your spine and down the front, and your clothes are sticking to you. And you know what I mean? It can raise your frustration levels in an anxious situation, you know? And what happens is you don't adapt, you just sort of get used to ignoring it. Like now, it's not on my mind like, oh my God, can you believe this? Look at my shirt. Like, oh, it's just like, oh yeah, like what else is new? Like, soaked again. So it doesn't stop happening. You just stop being surprised. You stop caring about it or being surprised about it. Pedro's asking, will I take on a music student? It's not really worth my time because the Khmer people can only afford like $2 an hour or like $5 for an hour. Like, because you might have a half-hour class and they only want to pay like $2 for that, and then it's not a good use of my time, basically. And then at music shops, you can go work at a real music school, but there's nothing for bass there. Like, if anyone wants to learn bass, they just get anyone who's working there and say, hey, show this guy bass. Bass is very easy to learn, the basics and the beginning of it. Pedro says, yesterday I sent you 20 bucks to buy the band dinner. Yeah, well, they're in Phnom Penh, right? So I'm going there on Halloween, so I can get us something on when I go see them. I live in a different city than them, so. But when I'm with them, and we'll use it for something, and then I'll take a little quick video while we're having it and say, yo, Pedro, look at this. Look at what you got us. But I'm not with them yet, so I can't do it. First, the hardest part for me on my first visit to Cambodia to meet my fiance was the province and no aircon. So what do you mean? Out in the province means like out in the countryside. The night heat just didn't quit. But after so many visits, now I'm more used to it. Yeah, you have to have a fan. There's times where the power goes out here and my fan shuts off, and it's like in 2 minutes you're covered in sweat. Like, I don't put air conditioning on a lot, but I always have a fan. Here's one tip I recommend. I used to have this and I don't have it anymore. Sorry, I hate the pounding. A small desk fan. You should get a small desk fan like the size of your face. And they plug in with USB, because when the power goes out, it's usually not that long. And my laptop is there with full power, and then your fan goes off, like your big fan goes off. And if I had a little USB desk fan, you could just plug that into your laptop, and at least, you can like stay in front of your laptop and be like, okay, I have something blowing on me, but and that happened the other day. The power went out for about an hour and a half, and I just went and stood outside because it was more breezy outside. And I thought to myself, I need to get one of those little desk fans, or even imagine if you had two of them. I have 2 USB ports in my laptop. Put one on each side, like pointing at you. They're only like $5 probably. STFJ says, great live video. Thank you for all the helpful visa info as well. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, I should end it off here. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes now. I need to go make another video. Go check out my channel. It's not like I'm brand new. I have 4 years of videos, and if you just go to my playlist section, there's ones on, it's organized so you don't have to sift through ones you're not interested in. Like, if a lot of people really like, here's a nice place to sit. Oh, I've been on my feet for like an hour and a half now. Yeah, a lot of people love the apartment tours because they want to see what are they in for when they're going to move here and live here. And I've got a whole playlist of all different ones, and ones I've lived in and ones I've just gone to go view them. And then there was one video, in 10 minutes, I view 5 apartments in one video. So you could go look at that too. There's a playlist called How To. It's all videos about how to do stuff, like how to open a bank account, how to get your drinking water, where do you buy your clothes for work, visas, how to, I don't know, how to make friends and stuff like that. Pedro says, I'm asking you if you will tutor me on creating electronic looping songs and jingles. I'll pay you proper wages. Yeah, we could do that. It's not very hard. Oh, but you'd have to... Whatever, we could talk about that later. You'd have to get some kind of software. The one I use is not worth it to you. It's like expensive, like... You could make ones that are like, you ever heard of GarageBand? That would be good enough for what you want to do, and I could show you how to do that and stuff. Yeah. But if you buy Logic Pro, it's also very intimidating. It's hard. That's like taking you to advanced level right away, and it would be overwhelming to learn right away in such a complicated one. Like I think GarageBand or something similar to that would be better to show you how to just do loops and stuff. And then once you get used to it, you could go up to something harder. Because I also went to school for that stuff, sound and music production. Anyways, yeah, I know I hate killing it when we got 21 people in here right now, but the noodle place is gonna close. They only do breakfast only, and now it must be like almost 10. It's like 9:30 now probably. They might be shut by the time I get there. Let's just walk over there. When I get there, I'm shutting it off. No thanks. See these guys? They're all saying that they're asking me, tuk tuk bro, tuk tuk bro. They're just like, please, I'm hungry. Like, I'm exaggerating. They're not starving, but I mean they need business, right? And then I got people telling me I shouldn't be trying to bring people here, and it's like they need us. And when this is all done, it'll be good. This is a big square in here, like it's a big rectangle. I did a video on this when they didn't have these fences up and you could see everything in there. And this is all going to be filled with, it'll be like an outdoor big event space, food stalls and maybe a stage and different little shops, and all nicely tiled, like with, you know, a floor like this and gardens and water fountain. You know, it's going to be a beautiful spot with lots of stuff, and that's just another example how I said they're pouring money into Kampot to try to attract people and improve tourism. It's like these are the big things that are contributing, not my little videos. Like, anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the donations. Love you guys.